Aries. Let's see what we got for you for your July 2021 overview. There we go. Aries, 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 Aries. I feel that one. I don't even know what it is. It's face down. It's got my crown chakra tingling like a motherfucker. We have happy ending at the bottom. Personal growth came out. And what's this card? Forgiveness. When I said I felt that in my crown, I felt that so strong. And we have self-discipline, 41. This happy ending is like suspended. And I think it's because of this karmic completion. You're on your way to a spiritual partnership, true enough. But there's being in a state of spiritual suspension. Like knowing what needs to be done, having been divinely guided about what needs to be done, and still not actually being able to willfully implement it. This this got you to your core, and there's a lot of gray area around it, a lot of unanswered questions. The whys aren't certain. So in order to complete this karmic cycle, well, in order to get this happy ending, the completed cycle has to be finalized. It's in the 10th stage, and that 0 is kind of lingering there. The new beginning is already available, but you're not. Even if you're considering yourself moved on and happy, energetically, you're still linked to the world, to the end of this particular cycle. The wheel hasn't ticked into the next minute yet. You haven't gone to the next notch of, when you get off of work, you know that it's the end of your shift. Until you clock out, you're not off. Until you haven't completely clocked out, you're still in this ending. You're still in this karmic completion. It's telling you it's finalized. It's telling you it's done. But it's like being paid, but it doesn't hit your account yet. There is that hanged man type of delay. This 93 is a 12. Still reduces to a 3. And I'm seeing this today as a hang up, a suspension. And I know why. Forgiveness. It's like you went ahead with the personal growth and you've got this self-discipline when it comes to your heart. You have this memory etched in your root chakra, and this is how you base your love. This is how you base your heart, in self-discipline. And I mean, while it's good and fine, it is a good thing to be self-disciplined. It's another thing to love based off of survival only. And this forgiveness is trying it to make its way into, like, you really have to see forgiveness. You have to see forgiveness outside of yourself, but it has to be internal too. It's an inside job. That's going to be very difficult, especially with the type of energy you possess. You're not an internal sign. You're more outward. Your impulses go outward, not inward. So this is going to be a real feat for you, man. You got to link with somebody who knows how to do this type of stuff, as far as who can be introverted or does have that self-reflective type of ability. Normally, like that's their place to be. They know how to introspect. They know how to internalize without, being overwhelmed. I think that all of this is still topical. after the karmic completion, you're coming up as happy ending. You're coming up with this happy ending, but underneath the happy ending is still the residue. It's still, it's like the murky water has been let out the drain, but the tub isn't clean. So you can't get back in it and expect this happy ending or expect this pleasant experience when you still have this residue, this gray ring around the base of you. It's still residual, and everything will suffer based off of the way you're trying to um, design or give. You're giving love in a very restricted way because of the manner you loved in the past, or that you were accepting love in the past, has left this type of bitterness, this bad taste in your mouth. You did the personal growth. Okay, that's a 7. This 96 is a 15. This forgiveness is going to break you down. It's going to break you down like the tower. And I say that because, yes, it's a 15 and it aligns with the devil card, but we're in the forgiveness stage of it. True enough. So you're not completely done yet. We're going to remove this 9 and all we have left is this 6. So it's like you went with the personal growth first and have yet to do the forgiveness aspect. So you're going backwards because self-discipline is a 5. I'm going to retract and I'm going to have a happy ending. It's a 3. You're going backwards. This is a regression. This is not, and this is why the karmic completion is rearing its head, and it will continue to, because you're not advancing through the stages you're retracting, you're lowering or diminishing, and it's all leading you back to the root chakra. It went from crown, third eye, heart, root. And then you're like, but I'm happy, says my mind, says my gut. But they're not in alignment with what is actually happening in the environment. That forgiveness came face down. It's like an undisclosed, like an unknown. It's like I'm going to sweep it under the rug, I'll get to it later type of vibe to it. You doing all this growing, but it ain't really done the work on the forgiveness aspect. So even if you have messages that try to come through, because of this distortion and because of the residue that's still left here, you won't see clearly. You won't be a clear channel for what's coming down to you. And by the time it gets down to your root chakra, where all the residue is, it all gets contaminated because it's put through the same rinse, it's put in the same grime, it's put in the same category as everything else that you still have not cleared out. This is affecting everything. This will touch your stability, the way you make money, the way you carry your physical body. It's all in comparison to that karmic cycle that you were in with another person. You're working out because this person chose someone skinny and cheated on you, or you're doing this because this person did that. It's a reactive type of energy. The things that you're doing now could be attributed to the traumas. That's the reason why the forgiveness is necessary, because then the traumas will give you the insight through this third eye that's surrounding this Merkaba here. It's really asking you, because it has to integrate and come down to the root, purify the root, clean out the tub, Ajax, Comet, whatever the fuck you use, and it has to go up and be released. It comes down as guidance, it clears out at the root, you get rooted in it, you get grounded in this new energy, this new information, these new insights that you have been given, and then in that purified state, it starts to come up and instill more change from a rinsed, cleansed perspective. And when it goes back up, because it's pure energy that's coming down into you to give you this insight that is necessary. So you're doing all this growth, but you're doing it in soil that isn't fertile. You're doing it in grounding that has been contaminated. So it's going to stifle your happy ending. It's gonna. I've said enough. Let me keep going. Let's see what we can get. Show me Aries. Show me Aries. Oh, inner truth. Okay. All right. One more. Why am I so aggressive with these cards right now? Okay. The joyous. Why am I showing you like that? The joyous. Look at that root. Look at that. It says stimulation is the key to joy, the zest for life, and the energy for a better life. Criticism is a natural byproduct of this improvement energy. Aliveness, the vitality to challenge. Carried away, defense. Focusing, electricity, perversion, love of life. And that's really what's going to end up happening with this energy down in your root chakra. It will contaminate and make a perversion out of other things because of the experience you have had with another being. Now you are repulsed by certain things and have amended all of your lifestyle in objection to it, in defense of it. Getting carried away. It says inner truth. The awareness of universal underlying principles, the pressure to know the absolute truth, the mysteries of life, and to resolve the individual tension to know. Mystery, the potential of inner truth is silence. Appeal, influence, research, interdependence, natural brilliance, occult knowledge. And this could be why readings like this, or even going to other spiritualists, may appeal, because there's this underlying unknown. It's like if you can get enough of a consensus that yes, they fucked you over, this is how they did it, this is what the situation was, this is why it didn't work, maybe then you'll feel justified in the way that you're doing things. And that's not cool, because it's the inner truth that you haven't been silent enough to actually accept. The forgiveness has been bypassed. You want to grow. You want to just be better than what you were when you were with them. And it's telling you that you have to wait. You have to do it in proper fashion, or else things are going to be out of order. Holding together. The basic worth realized and contributing individual efforts to group goals. Through example, the contributor of the individual is impressed on the collective. Contribution, leading by example. Communion, dharma, respect, the phony, service, honesty. All these chakra colors, right? I mean, they're coming through. These look like coins to me, and they very well could be, but it's like you can get the coin. You can get the growth financially and all of these things, but it's based off of like a retaliation. I'm doing better because when I lost my balance in this relationship, I was down bad. So I'm, in spite of you, I'm gonna do better, and I'm gonna do well, and I'm gonna show you that I don't need you, that you were no good for me. That's kind of the story that I'm seeing here. It says the cauldron. Who is concocting shit? Don't retaliate. Please don't. Like it's like ritualistic, almost like I'm doing this, like your intention for doing these things, when really your happy ending should be personal. It should just be for you. It shouldn't have to do with upstaging or updoing or spiting someone who may not even be paying attention, or if they weren't even paying enough attention to you to begin with, that caused this rift, this karmic completion in the first place. Like, if you feel like you're on the losing end of it, maybe that was your karma and not theirs. And to retaliate when you were supposed to receive this type of lesson in order to learn what forgiveness was actually about. No one else could have taught you forgiveness but an experience like this. Not in this manner. And it was so very necessary because it could have been something you have always needed to do, always needed to be or put in a position to administer and did not. All right, send someone in that you actually like, actually love, that you fall for, trust, let in, and they're going to teach you forgiveness on our behalf, says the universe. It's not an offense to you. It's trying to convey to you and get through to you in a way that you're thinking in different, you're going about life in a way where forgiveness is something that you lack. And how would you be balanced if not for learning what forgiveness is and learning why it's necessary? They're trying to give you what you don't have. They gave you what you don't have naturally occurring in your life, in your energy that has been stalling you. And now that it has been given to you, you can complete this cycle. But you have to take the gift that they gave you instead of looking at what you lost and trying to diminish and stifle down how much you're going to give the next person, because that is just actually counterproductive to the growth that you're trying to do. How can you be receptive in your personal growth to extra finances and this and that when you have this noose around, please don't take me literally, but you have this vice grip around your compassion, your forgiveness? Like there's, and you could be as kind as you want to be, you can be as nice as you want to be, you can be that person that does stuff for other people, but you don't have a lick of forgiveness in you. Your energy is still going to be off. So you're only still going to attract shit that feels like the karma you just went through. Forgiveness was your lesson. Whatever their lesson was, you're not in charge of that. And it's like, I don't know. I'm thinking about kids, like how the way you act and the way you do things, you just, it's you do them. No apologies. When it comes to other people, there's apologies that you're still waiting on. But if you're unapologetic and then you meet someone else and in their dealings with you have become unapologetic, maybe it was their lesson to become like you, unapologetic, and make moves and do things and make decisions for themselves, regardless of what somebody else is going to say about it or what they're going to feel about it. You have been. So now, when they may have been in a place in the beginning of constant forgiving or constant remorse and always asking, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I can't forgive that. I can't forgive it. I can't forgive it. I can't forgive it. No, that's fine. And holding it against a person and begrudgingly accepting them in, but never administering the forgiveness. It gets to the point where it is so detrimental on both ends. All you're feeling are the effects of what they're doing. And you're rubbing shoulders with them. They're adapting your style, especially if you share sacred space with them. They're becoming more like you energetically, but you haven't started to understand the balance of where they were first coming from, where they were apologetic, they were remorseful, they had a lot of forgiveness for things that you may have done and they never complained about, but internally just had to forgive it and keep going. But over time, like, this is a pattern that this person is doing. So on their side of the karmic wheel, or on their side of the karma, they're looking at it like, this person does not respect me. They do not care. They keep on. I apologize. I try to hold myself accountable, but they just will never forgive me. I can never do anything right, to the point where it's like, man, fuck what you think. I'm gonna do it anyway. And matter of fact, I'm gonna do it so well that I'm actually happy. with what I'm doing. Just because I need to, I deserve it after being felt like I'm not enough and I don't have. And it's really coming down to them having given you forgiveness, never even mentioning it. You have the imprint of their ability to forgive because there's a lot of things that you have been forgiven for. They gave you forgiveness. Now it's time for you to use it. And not even for reconciling, just to reconcile the thought, reconcile the feeling, reconcile the energy at the base of you that has kept you withheld from a really happy life and fulfilled life and a joyful life that you could actually blossom into, that you could actually sprout from. You don't want to stifle it. You want to allow it room to grow. So when you're just holed up, and like I said, that grime in the tub, nobody wants to sit in a fucking tub. Nobody is going to feel comfortable there. Not your new love interest, not that next love, not even the person that you may want to reconnect with. Like, the forgiveness has to be administered because no one wants to be in that residue. And you're the only one that's ignoring it. So if you're going to wipe the slate clean, if you're going to begin again, if you're going to start all the way over, it really has to be over with, you have to forgive yourself and the other person. You have to reconcile those thoughts in order to even reconnect in real life. Like, it has to be done in a spiritual way first. And it's retracting, it's pulling on your personal growth. All that growth that you've done, it's going to reel you back in and bring you back down to earth. Quite literally. The colors take you right back down to earth. Because when it comes to the matters of the heart, it's always going to go back to your root chakra, where that karma is placed. So we have cauldron. The value of historic continuity, whose traditional values serve and enrich the present and the future, establishing the rules and laws of caring, values, guarding and maintaining the tribe. Leadership, consistency, corruption, adaptability, determination, the immigrant. You live life by your rules and you expect other people to adapt. That's pretty much how it goes. And if you do compromise, it's got to be like, there's still, it also depends on where this Aries energy is placed in your chart. Because corruption is sitting in the middle of all this, plain as day. But the cauldron, that's a meeting spot. That's ritualistic. So it's as if, like, I don't think this person is like you at all, or they're not from immigrant. You might as well be. It's like you have your tribe and the way that you consider things to be right, and that's what your impulses are based off of. They're not like that. They're not like you. They're not like your family. But that's the way you, like, the treatment that you put them through. Like, this is the way my family does things. And there's the clash. Y'all not speaking the same dialect. So when it comes down to this forgiveness, things could be worded differently. It's not what they say. It's not what you say. It's how you say it. Dialect would have people misunderstanding each other. There's certain ways, if you give somebody a symbol somewhere else in the globe, they could think you flipping off their mama and they want to get at you and beat your ass. So it's to each their own. There's a lot of mystery surrounding this connection, because a lot of it, you're living on somebody else's values, and you could have adopted those values, but in connecting with this person, having a connection with this person, did you know what they valued? Did you? It says you did. But was that honored? Or were your values more important? Because you lead, right? That's your mantra. You're the one in charge, male or female. That's a personal value. That's not even lineage. That's a personal value. Or did you want to lead and also at the same time be taken care of? I don't know. The subtle influence of this person, even if it caused havoc or had some kind of dramatic effect on you, it wasn't overt. It was very subtle, and over time, it amounted to something so great. But every single time this person took a blow, you were not there with the forgiveness, or you know what I mean. We're not seeking their forgiveness. You were not. It was like, see, that's what you get. But if they, bump into you on accident, oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. And really having remorse for certain things and the reaction between the two, it's like you are never sorry. You have no forgiveness. You have no remorse. You do things because you want to, and people have to live with that. Like, why am I so apologetic when someone doesn't care? They don't care what they do. They only care what I do to them or what they feel I've done to them. Shit. Out of order. Y'all be throwing me off today. Ooh. We got the green of entering. Your heart chakra needs a lot of work. A lot of work. You love based off of stability. Basically. And your root chakra is filthy. It's littered with karmic residue. No wonder your love is coming up rough. Your heart center. And usually I'll be like, oh, this is real raw love, and not usually. It always means something different. But it's, and we have the solar plexus here. So you're going to keep attracting people in this same manner. You are attracting people in the same manner, and your happy ending is not going to, you're thinking, trying to manifest a happy ending through the mind. It's going straight here, and it's like now everything is in fight or flight mode in your instinctual place. Not the instinct that helps you thrive, because right now you're just in survival mode. Like, your second brain is not functioning at its highest peak. Hey man, your happy ending is suspended. You did all this work, personal growth, and now you're waiting for a result, but it went backwards. Do you still see? This is still a 3 vibration. It is suspended. All right. What you were given, you don't see as just. You don't see as fair, but it very much was. This is something that forgiveness is something that they have already put in work to do, have always had to put in work to do. That is something they're natural at. Yeah, you've been put under judgment to be suspended. It's like you taking something too far. Like, say somebody bumps into you. I'm thinking about school. Like, somebody bumps into you and they apologize and say they're sorry, but you cannot forgive them. You push them. A fight ensues. You say they started it, right? The lesson was for you to understand what is worth it and what is not, and to be able to forgive. It was an honest mistake, and they had sincere intentions of apologizing and did. and it was still instigated by the impulse that something was done wrong to you. It was taken too far. You are being suspended. You don't know why. You can't figure it out, right? Why not? You had all this brute strength, right? This brute strength, and someone bumps into you, not with full force. They're actually moving a whole lot slower. You may be in a rush. They bump into you, you retaliate. I see cauldron here. Like somebody is retaliating. They're concocting a way to hurt someone else, like the way that they are perceiving their hurt, their pain. And forgiveness is the hardest thing for them to do. I'm getting off this reading because your inner truth, this 61, is what's needed for the personal growth. Okay. Make sure that what's in your tub, what's in your base, what's in your cauldron, whatever you're cooking up, is not corrupt. You cannot retaliate against a person when the result was, in your eyes, wrong, but it's very much just. You knew what this person was like, or you knew what they valued, and it was still run in your manner. And the result that you got was teaching you forgiveness the whole time. And that falls on deaf ears. You don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear that. But this is Libra's energy. This is fucking universal balance. Karma, checks and balances. It keeps things in order. You needed the balance. You needed the balance. And I told you they were more subtle than you. They were more internal or more apologetic. This person already knew forgiveness. High Priestess, you're coming up as Emperor. So, of course, you're more overt. You're more out, extroverted. This is a more reserved type of energy in comparison to the Queen of Wands. Of course, it looks like combative behavior, because if anything, combativeness is something that you would, it was something that you would pick up instantly before something peaceful, something calm, something accidental. You don't see things in that manner. You see things as offensive. And it's got this carried away and defense in this bit. This was universe's defense against your lack of forgiveness. You got carried away. And it's like a check yourself before you wreck yourself type of energy. And it's telling you that this karmic completion is not complete. It's not done. You were out of bounds. You were out of balance. You really have to dial it back. That's Piscean energy with Aries energy. And the thing is, when it comes to maturity, they come before you. Even in the major arcana, they come before you. They're not as physically manifested as they are spiritual. It's a different type of energy. It's a different type of utilization for them, a different implementation. So if a person is always apologetic, you know what I'm saying, you're getting to the point where there's a reassessment now because you're still not getting it. You're still not getting it. So even though it's over, it's done, it's complete, it's like it has to be regraded and regraded and regraded and retry. You got to retry and retry. Not that you have to go back into the cycle. It's over. It's completely over. But it's your hang up. And that's what I got. Let's clean up this energy. So next time I see y'all, I don't have to come with the Ajax or the Comet. This heart space, it needs some revamping. You're going to have to rearrange some things. All right. I'll talk to y'all another time.